I'm here with Louis. Louis is a Rufus Bettong. Hello, Louis, you cute little floofy thing. And Adrian, who do we have over there?
This is Winnie, and Winnie is a long-nosed potteroo.
Okay, and you can see it's got a long nose, doesn't it? So
Sure does.
both of these are marsupials, right? They're both small marsupials, so they got pouches. What do we know about the two different species?
Well, both these guys are in the same family. They're related to kangaroos and wallabies, but they're in the potteroid family, so they both have the same feet as wallabies and kangaroos. They've got that big fourth toe. They've got the second and third toe that's fused together, just like we see on kangaroos. But the potteroid family have a prehensile tail. So these guys can use their tails to carry nesting material, so sticks and leaves and grass, and they hop and use that stuff to make a nest.
So they hop around with carrying things with their tail.
Yep.
What? That's quite remarkable, isn't it?
Well, yeah, kangaroos can't do that, and wallabies, even tree kangaroos have gone back up into the trees. They don't use their tail to hold things.
Yeah, I mean possums do, don't they?
Ringtail possums?
Ringtail possums
Yeah.
have a prehensile tail, and they use that. So what do possums use their tail for?
They carry nesting material as well, and it can help them hold onto branches.
Yeah.
And these guys evolved from, like all kangaroos did, from a possum-like animal.
Okay, so oh, they're so cute and fluffy, isn't it? I mean, it is that thing, isn't it? All animals are amazing, but there's something about mammals that we kind of, because we're mammals too, that we see it's their fluffiness and cuteness. What I've noticed is that they like to curl up a bit, and is that kind of like almost like remnants of being in pouches and things?
It absolutely is, yeah, definitely. Also being nocturnal as well during the day, they're cuddled up in their nests. And both of these animals are still quite young. Like, so neither of these animals are full grown. They'll both get to about the size of a rabbit, but they are at the age where they're out of mum's pouch and they're living independently, but they'll still cuddle up in a pouch. And
So how old is Louis?
Louis is about 6 months old, and Winnie's probably about 9-10 months old now.
And of course, being a marsupial, when Louis was born, would have been tiny.
Yeah, that's right. A bit bigger than a grain of rice.
So in 6 months has gone from the size of a grain of rice to this size. That's exponential growth almost, isn't it? That's like
weird.
huge. Like,
It seems weird because it all happens on the outside of the body.
yeah, and I suppose when we think of a human baby that starts off, when a human baby is the size of a grain of rice, it's internal, and it grows fairly rapidly in that 9 months, of course, doesn't it? So I suppose that's the thing we need to kind of remember with these. So where do we find these two different species, and do we find them in similar kinds of areas?
Both of these individuals are woodland and forest animals, yeah. So distribution-wise, long-nosed potteroos are down the east coast and on Tasmania. These guys, the Rufus Bettongs, are also on the east coast, but their range has reduced significantly, so they're no longer in Victoria. They used to come down into Victoria. There's still spots where you do see Rufus Bettongs and long-nosed potteroos, but a lot of their range, they've disappeared.
So what are some of the things that have caused their decrease in numbers?
Well, it's generally habitat loss is the number one reason, and then you mix that in with cats and foxes being introduced into the country. So firstly, the habitat loss, they've got nowhere to hide, and then you introduce these amazing predators, which Australia never had cats or foxes, and our animals didn't get to evolve alongside them like other continents. So they're the two main reasons. So the more people we have, the more farmland we need, the more land for housing and all the other things that people require. So they now say that 96% of the mammals on planet Earth are human beings, their livestock and their pets. Now,
pets.
I love humans, but I also
We're
love
pretty
biodiversity.
cool most of the time, but biodiversity. So we need to find ways, don't we, of giving these animals an opportunity. And what we find in the natural world, and we see it after bushfires, don't we, is that if you give nature a chance, it's actually pretty resilient in coming back. And what better animals to be at the vanguard of giving that chance than these extraordinary things? I mean, what are your favourite things about these?
Well, I mean, that's a very good question. I think I just enjoy showing people these animals because a lot of people have never heard of a bettong. They're extinct throughout most of the range, so you don't see them around. A lot of zoos don't have them because they're nocturnal and they sleep in a nest during the day, so that's a pretty boring exhibit. So it's just a great thing to be able to have the opportunity to see one, learn about it myself, but also share that with other people.
Yeah, and in terms of so they're here at Animals Anonymous. So how did they come to be here? What's
There's a lot of breeding programs around the country, so we network with other zoos and sanctuaries and educational facilities, and so all these are bred just to go into classrooms and universities and tastes and things to engage with people.
and they live a pretty decent life here, don't they?
Yeah, they got no predation. They got lots of room to run around. They get all their food delivered to them.
They just wait. They're like it's like yeah. Where's Adrian? Where's our lunch? Where's our breakfast? Where's our dinner and stuff? So look, thank you, Louis and
Winnie.
Winnie, and thank you, Adrian from Animals Anonymous. And we'll see you next time. Cheerio.
See ya.